Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, we're talking economic development, this time in Southern Nevada, with Terry Culp, Deputy Director of Nevada Industry Excellence, for the whole show on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers is brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Pro Group Management, and the Retail Association of Nevada.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Nearly 200,000 Nevadans work in retail businesses, supporting families and the community. Nevada's retail businesses generated over $2 billion in sales tax revenue in 1 year, including nearly $700 million to help our schools. Shop around and see all that Nevada's retailers offer our state.
We're the Retail Association of Nevada, representing thousands of Nevada businesses.
Businesses that work for Nevada.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're pleased to welcome to the program Terry Culp. He's the Deputy Director of Nevada Industry Excellence. We dealt with your counterpart and boss up in the north, and we wanted to visit with you here in Las Vegas to see what Nevada Industry Excellence does to help companies here in Southern Nevada. So briefly describe the role here, because obviously it's somewhat different than what's going on in the north.
We basically do the same things in both ends of the state, but we're focused here on helping companies grow and be successful here in Southern Nevada and be more globally competitive and profitable, whether they're expanding or looking to grow their international sales, which will hopefully involve their expansion here in Southern Nevada. And we're also assisting with economic development and their efforts to bring in companies to Southern Nevada as well, especially now that manufacturing has become a very hot sector for them, with a very high interest in Southern Nevada, primarily due to the fact that Nevada is a very business-friendly state.
Well, you know, it's funny. I mean, it's not that many years ago that people were writing off manufacturing, period. And now Nevada is boomtown as far as manufacturing.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. I think the Gigafactory up in Reno has kind of opened the eyes to many at a national level, and Nevada is now on the radar as a very strong possibility for many companies. And when they do their due diligence with this new interest, they do discover that Nevada has a lot to offer companies once they set up shop here, and it improves their chances for expansion and being more globally competitive.
And it's funny because, you know, certainly in the north, we've talked about the Tesla effect affecting all the communities in the north. It's very exciting to hear that it's affecting all the communities in the south as well.
Yeah, we believe it is. And also, we've had some great success stories throughout the state, and especially here in Southern Nevada, with not only bringing companies in, but also helping those that are already here in their expansion and growth.
Right now, with the excitement about manufacturing, what kind of companies are looking to locate here? Give us maybe 2 or 3 examples.
Well, it could be technology companies, could be fundamental manufacturing like metal fabricating. There's a wide variety. I wouldn't say there's any one sector that's a shining example. We're finding that the cleaner industries seem to be more interested in moving here. And we like those industries because they tend to be higher paying industries as well. So, we was in a recent meeting with LVGEA, which is the regional economic development authority here in Southern Nevada. and they showed us the level of interest in the various sectors, and manufacturing was right off the charts. And it's a variety of manufacturing that is particularly interesting to see. Not any one particular sector. We've talked about developing industry clusters of particular groups, but we're finding the variety is so broad that it's hard to identify any one particular one that's.
And that's a funny thing because, even with the best laid plans, I remember when Walmart brought their distribution plant to North Nevada, and the idea was that all their vendors were going to buy land around them and build facilities to be able to facilitate that distribution center. That actually never turned out to be. But what happened was that Walmart had a 1 million square foot building, and all these other companies started coming in and building 1 million square foot buildings as well, because of the reasons that we all know, which is the closeness of Nevada here in Southern Nevada to Southern California, and you can get anywhere on the West Coast within a day and a half.
That's true, and the tax structure and regulatory structure here in in Nevada, the state of Nevada, is very attractive as well, as opposed to California.
So I want to ask you a question because I find this interesting. For years, we heard that without the proper education system in place for K through 12 and the university system, the companies weren't going to come here. But in Northern Nevada, what we've seen is the companies have been coming, obviously, like gangbusters, and they are now going into K through 12 and the university system and saying, okay, this is what the needs are for our workforce development. This is how we need you to provide. Are you seeing the same kind of thing in Southern Nevada where the education system isn't the most important thing up front, but then becomes very important once the companies are either here or moving here?
A lot of companies will ask that up front. Others will work it out once they get here. They realize that the advantages are so strong being in Nevada that they'll find a way to get the talent that they need in the company. And in addition, we here in Southern Nevada, and in conjunction with the state's programs, have come up with some programs that are very helpful in developing talent that's manufacturing ready. Here in Southern Nevada, we have 7 career tech academies. And that's what I refer to as a well-kept secret, where graduation rates from these high schools is like 99%. 85% of them typically go on to post-secondary education, and these kids are graduating with skills that can be utilized in manufacturing right away as well. And so they are now beginning to partner with CSN with programs that are being subsidized by the state, much like the P3 program that's been very successful with Tesla up north. And we're starting to develop those kinds of programs down here to provide manufacturers with manufacturing-ready, skilled talent that have the STEM skills and the communication skills that are needed in manufacturing. And that's starting to take hold, and it's starting to work.
Is there a competition at this point for workforce between construction and manufacturing?
I wouldn't necessarily say there's competition. Because
there's a real shortage in construction up in the north.
Yeah, and there is here as well. I don't think it's as acute as it is up north. However, what we're finding is construction now is beginning to embrace lean technology more than they have in the past. And we've been working with construction folks down here. For instance, the Henderson Hospital, we worked with the general over there, and they fully embraced lean technology during the construction of that hospital and encouraged all the subs to do so as well. And as a result, they finished the hospital ahead of schedule and under budget.
All right, let's take a break. More on this fascinating topic when we come back.
How do you shed some light on a better economy? Start with growth inspired by Valley Electric Association. We're a member-owned power company that puts Nevada first, and we're doing big things, like providing prosperity by securing renewable energy projects. For Nevada, that means more jobs and more opportunities, all for a strong statewide economy. In other words, together, we're doing powerful things. Visit us at vea.coop to learn more.
I'm Paul Enos, CEO of the Nevada Trucking Association. Truck drivers are some of the hardest working people you'll meet, delivering over 70% of America's freight and 92% of Nevada's. When there's a natural disaster, they're delivering critical supplies to help those communities recover and rebuild. Every sector of the economy and our nation's military rely on truck drivers. So let's take a moment to say thank you. On the open road or city streets, our truck drivers are rolling to make our economy and our nation stronger. Trucking moves America forward.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Terry Culp. He's the Deputy Director of Nevada Industry Excellence. You mentioned the phrase lean technologies, and I'm now going to give you the opportunity to explain to all of us exactly what that means.
Okay, well, that's a good question, and I'm glad you brought that up, Sam. Lean technology is pretty much an umbrella term that encompasses a lot of different kinds of initiatives that help a company become more efficient within its four walls. For instance, part of lean technology can be what we call value stream mapping, where we actually map the entire process where a raw material comes into the shipping door of a company, goes through all the various processes throughout the plant, and then it gets packaged and exits out the shipping door as well. So during that entire process, we'll map that out during the course of their actual current process. And then we look at that process and say, hey, we identify ways where we can improve that and eliminate waste during the course of that process to help a company improve the efficiency and reduce the cost and improve quality at the same time during that entire process. That's one of the more popular initiatives that we get involved with a lot of companies regarding lean, and that's just an example of one of the kinds of things that lean is involved in.
And you're part of the Nevada system of higher education.
That's correct.
Okay, so is there a cost to these companies for your services?
There is a cost. We do charge a nominal fee. However, it's very reasonable because we're already here in Nevada, for one thing, and we have a staff of experts that have been involved with these kinds of processes for years. Most of us come from the private sector. Myself, I used to own my own manufacturing operations and ran them myself as well. So, I kind of been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt, so to speak. So you might say I'm a recovering manufacturer and kind of enjoy working with a lot of the manufacturers here in Southern Nevada and helping them become more successful. Are
you also involved in supply chain management?
We are. We help in that regard as well. There's lots of ways that supply chain to various companies can become more streamlined and more effective and more coordinated with their customers, and we encourage that, and that's also part of the lean paradigm, if you will, as well.
As far as electricity goes, there's coming a big battle, as you well know, between NVIE Energy, that's been the sole provider, and other industries that would like to see the competition opened up. How are your manufacturers looking at this? Because obviously, if you can drop the price of electricity, that's going to attract a lot more people, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. The power question is one of the questions that comes up typically when a company looks at coming to Southern Nevada or Northern Nevada. And it is also a question that comes up from companies who are already here and looking to improve the efficiency of their operations. So we can help them in both ways, if you will. And NV Energy has actually got a pretty good incentive system in place that we're quite familiar with. And also we're working with the USDA on a REAP program, their Rural Energy for America program, to help companies in rural areas too save energy. And there's lots of ways to do that. The standard typical ways that most people think of is, well, change your lights out and go to LEDs, and certainly that's a great option. Improving your air compressor, going to more efficient motors. We have experts that we use that are sanctioned by NV Energy that we can help identify those kinds of things that can make a big difference in their energy bill. For instance, you may be familiar with Shelby American. They make the Shelby GT 350 Mustangs and the 500
Who hasn't want to own one of those?
Yeah, so that was a fun client to work with. They lease a building over off of Route 15. You've probably seen the big name there. And they were paying quite a bit for their electricity, at least that's the way they felt. So the owner of the building and Shelby agreed that they would both pitch in half to improve the energy usage over there for Shelby American. Well, we took our experts over there and identified the low-hanging fruit, if you will, regarding the things they could do to improve their energy usage by a considerable amount. So it looked like it was going to be about a $100,000 investment, and we identified the most obvious choices to go with, and also identified the NV Energy incentives that would be applicable, and also a Part 179D federal incentives as well that would help them with their taxes. By the time we got done with all of it, they literally didn't have to pay anything for their capital investment of over $100,000 as a result of the things we found and the incentives we were able to identify. And they put all that in, made the investment, and as a result, now they're saving over $30,000 a year in energy cost, and they improve the quality of their light so that in their work areas they had much better working light, and so the efficiency and quality went up in their production areas, and their showroom is a lot more well lit as well. And so if you ever get a chance to go over there, they got a great showroom if you're in the cars, and you'll be able to see some of the improvements that we were able to help them make. And it ultimately didn't cost them anything, and it saved them over $30,000 a year in energy costs.
A lot of conservatives get upset when the state or the federal government gives people incentives. Do you think that we're approaching a threshold now with the number of companies coming in that we're not going to need to put up those kind of incentives? For example, Google bought 1,200 acres up in northern Nevada, and they asked for nothing from the state.
Well, that's obviously an ideal situation if a company like that comes in and isn't asking for state incentives. However, that's a rarity. And
sure.
Obviously, if we are going to attract a large number of companies, other states are offering great incentive packages. If we don't offer something, in addition to having the inherent advantages that the state has, then we're not going to gain much in the way of attracting companies to the state, because we have to be competitive on a national level from that perspective. So I certainly can empathize with what the economic development authorities are faced with regarding bringing companies here. And they don't always win, but they're winning more than they ever have in the past now, because of the fact that people are now identifying the fact that this is a very business-friendly state. So the incentives are not as readily available as they used to be. The thresholds to meet the qualifications for incentives are higher now with our economic development authorities. So yes, they are to some degree raising the bar, if you will, and not offering it as readily. But we still have to be competitive in order to get our share of those companies that are moving to a new state.
All right, let's take a break and we'll come back with more with Terry Culp right after this.
Nevada Newsmakers is brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, Pro Group Management, and the Retail Association of Nevada.
St. Ives Florist, for every holiday and every special occasion. For romance. Custom home design. We have the largest selection of fresh flowers in northern Nevada. And we also offer a large selection of unique gift items. Come see me, Lori Ann, at St. Ives Florist, 700 South Wells Avenue, or call me at 333-9190.
Sully Sports Bar inside the Tamarack Junction is South Reno's headquarters for locals to watch all your favorite sports. And now you can enjoy your favorite team on our brand new high-def TVs featuring the Papa, the big daddy of them all. It's our giant 17-foot big screen TV wall. And we have two 79-inch high-def TVs, 12 65-inch high-def TVs, including 2 party booths for your own private party, and 6 high-def private booth TVs. Bring in your own headphones and listen to your favorite game right from your own seat. First, make your bets in our William Hill Sportsbook, then enjoy your favorite cold beer, libations, burgers, wings, pizza, and our signature build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Then settle in and download our app and listen to any game being shown in Sully Sports Bar. Catch your favorite team on our new high-def big screen TVs. Sully Sports Bar is the only place to watch your favorite sports all year long. The Tamarack Junction, just north of the Summit Mall in South Virginia.
It's Tamarack Junction, your junction for fun.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Terry Culp. He's the Deputy Director of Nevada Industry Excellence. You know, with 4.1% unemployment in the state, we're running out of people to hire. Obviously, we're going to be able to lift people up from low-paying service industry jobs and get them into areas like manufacturing, like you're talking about, and construction, etc. But at what point are we going to need with, you know, because you've got, what, about $16 billion worth of projects on the table right now that are actually funded in Southern Nevada between the Raider Stadium, the Convention Center expansion, Genting's massive project on the Strip, 2 Wynn Resort properties on the Strip, the Fontainebleau. Do we have the housing capacity in Southern Nevada? Has it been absorbed enough already that you're going to need to build dramatically more? In Northern Nevada, you're looking at a need of 5,000 homes a year for 10 years just to keep up, and we're already behind.
Yeah, it's clearly more acute in Northern Nevada than it is here in Southern Nevada. One of the things that we see happening regularly is the housing shortages are an issue here, but like I said, not as much in Northern Nevada. The houses that have been in foreclosure are at their lowest levels. Housing building is picking up at a much higher rate than it has in the past for the reasons that you mentioned. And so, yeah, we are growing and expanding, and the population is increasing as a result of those needs. And it's a good thing for Southern Nevada, and it's very positive for our economy moving forward as well.
For the whole state. I mean, it's really
Yes.
the most remarkable time in Nevada history.
Yes.
It really is incredible.
Absolutely.
Terry Culp, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Sam. It was a pleasure working with you today.
All right. We'll be right back.
The signs and symptoms of cataracts can start out small with subtle changes in your vision. So don't wait. Be proactive and take your vision into your own hands. If you're experiencing the onset of cataracts or just have questions, contact your eye care professional or call Eye Care Associates of Nevada today. Dr. Hiss has years of experience specializing in the surgical correction of eye disorders and has completed over 84,000 vision correcting procedures. At Eye Care Associates of Nevada, we'll change the way you look at the world.
Hi, my name's Marilyn Miner, and I'm sure you'd agree that Nevada's a very special place to live. I was born here, and my husband and I have raised our family here. I feel it's a privilege to live and work in the Truckee Meadows. I especially enjoy helping my clients reach their real estate goals. Sometimes the smallest details provide the greatest satisfaction. I'd be complimented to talk to you about your next move.
call Marilyn Miner at Dixon Realty, 742-1280, or log on to marilynminer.com.
Check out Nevada Newsmakers online at nevadanewsmakers.com, or you can go to iTunes and Stitcher or wherever you get your podcasts. We'll see you on the next broadcast.